Aloha everybody, Kaimana Souza here in the Kanileʻa Sound Studio with a first time video. Today we're going to do a Kanileʻa Ohana Spotlight. We have done in the past artist spotlights, but today we are doing an Ohana Spotlight because we as Kanileʻa are in the community, the global community, and we're going to talk today with a dear friend of mine, Amos Balongo. Now, Amos is the founder, president of a organization based in Kenya called Camp Ohana. Thanks for joining us today, Amos. It's good to have you here.
Thank you, Kaimana. It's good to be here.
Yeah, we've been talking about doing this type of video to tell the story because we've been working together for
7 years now, yeah?
7 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about yourself. I know most of the story, but just to bring people up to speed, share about yourself and ultimately what brought you here to the islands.
Yeah, aloha. My name is Amos Balongo. I'm the founder of Camp Ohana Foundation. We are a US-based organization, but operate in Kenya and now other parts of the world with a focus of really bringing hope to children through educational programs. I first came to Hawaii to actually work on a children's program. And when I got to Hawaii, I fell in love with the place and decided I'd make this home. And that was almost 16, 17 years ago that I came to Hawaii.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit. We were talking before about the original mission of Camp Ohana. Tell me about the inspiration and the original mission and how that's evolved over time.
So when we first started this organization, I'll take us back a little bit to the name Camp Ohana. When I first came to Hawaii, I was really touched by the spirit of Ohana that was here, which is really a family. And family doesn't really mean just people who are related to you. It's anybody. It's your neighbors. It's your friends. It's anybody that needs a hand. And so we named this organization Camp Ohana because we knew that we are going to spread the true spirit of Ohana to different parts of the world. And Kenya being my native country, it made sense to begin there. So originally we started the program in a small village in Western Kenya. And this was basic just to provide recreational programs. I'm passionate about recreational programs for children. So it was just an idea, a space for children to come and learn and play and grow. And this morphed out to be, we created the first children's library arguably in Kenya, in a village. We were able to create a photography program for children in Kenya, as well as support different initiatives in this village that we called Camp Ohana Village. Now, 15 years later, we are running programs globally and also here in Hawaii to support our children and youth through our programs. And the concept that Camp Ohana has is, we will give you the skills, we will unlock a potential for you, and then it's up to you to take it to the next level. And so we are more catalysts and I would say firelighters to ignite the passion in these children through music, through dance, through recreational programs, through reading and other activities.
So where exactly is the village?
So we have two locations, is Camp Ohana Village and Camp Ohana Campus. The initial program started at Camp Ohana Village, which is almost 600 kilometers west of Nairobi. So to get there, if you're going by bus, you're probably taking about a 12-hour bus ride. And over the past 13 years, our volunteers and being a volunteer-run organization, everybody that's part of Camp Ohana is a volunteer. So most of them lived in Nairobi, so they would get on buses and travel to this village to run programs for children there. And that's Camp Ohana Village. Camp Ohana Campus is about, I would say, an hour, 45 minutes, I would say, south of Nairobi. And still a bit of a hike because of transportation and logistics in Kenya. But that is where a lot of our programs now are taking shape. after having invested heavily in the village, post-COVID, we focused our activities, a lot of them at the campus, because that location had essentially been neglected because all the activities were in the village for almost 13 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do the kids come to Camp Ohana? Are they selected? Can they come? Tell us a little bit about how they come to be part of Camp Ohana.
So basically, the volunteers are very plugged into the communities. And so they will go out and put out word and say, we have this program, and it's a program for children to learn how to, play music. It's a program for children to be able to have access to books. And also it's an opportunity for these children to meet people from other parts of the world, because we have people visiting Camp Ohana from different countries, the United States, Canada, the Netherlands, and these kids get a chance to interact with these people and ask them about their lives, ask them about, their careers, because the global aspect of what we do, which is global citizenship, can only be achieved when these kids in remote villages can meet people from Hawaii, can meet people from Canada, can meet people from Amsterdam, and ask them about their lives and ask them about their story. So the kids get to be, informed of this, and the parents just sign up the children. So that's really using our volunteers to reach out to the community.
And there's no cost to the children when they come to Camp Ohana?
No, absolutely not. These programs are provided free of charge to the children. We've never charged the children or the parents a penny since we started. And we raise funds, and we donate our own funds to be able to keep these programs running. So that's the beauty about it, because in places like this, something as small as $1, $2 could be a limiting factor to a child being able to attend a life-changing program like this.
What are the main programs at the Camp Ohana?
Okay, right now our main programs are, and this, they say you never want to pick your favorite child, but the Camp Ohana Children's Orchestra, which is a group of children that have adopted the ukulele and play the ukulele. There is also a recreation and play program where the children just get together and play games and learn. There's a reading program where kids just come and they're able to just read books and learn about the world. We have now a couple other programs that are actually based in Hawaii. First is our youth aviation program that is geared to bring together aviators from all over the world to work with children that are interested in aviation. And interestingly enough, some of the children in our program represented Hawaii and were number one in a national drone competition in Tennessee just 2 weeks ago. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so just bringing it back to Hawaii to some of the kids. Another program that we're involved in is a global storytelling program. Now, stories are so important because traveling the world is almost impossible for many people. But if I want to learn about your culture and I want to learn about where you live, I can learn it through stories. So we created a program called Children's Stories by Ohana, where we come in and we research stories from all over the world and we share them with on our platforms, and children from all over the world can listen to these stories and learn. An example is we've had kids from Cambodia send us messages telling us, oh, we didn't know that in Afghanistan the kids live like that. And to kind of bring it all home, we then take my favorite instrument, the ukulele, and we play a song from that country to be able to bring these kids together through music, and all that is done through storytelling.
Nice.
Yeah.
You touched on culture, and we kind of talked about it a little bit before. And you mentioned just the sheer fact that within the Kenyan area, there's 43 different languages.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show, the amount of culture. But there was a similar thread through all 43 that we touched on. And even between the 43 different languages and the different cultures that those surround, there still are threads to kids in Cambodia, kids in Afghanistan, children here in Hawaii. And where was that group again that you came with from the middle of the United States, right?
Yes.
So there's culture intertwined, and there's so many similarities, like you're saying. You know, at the end of the day, we're all one race, one human race, and it's all about connecting stories together.
Yeah, and you've touched on something I'd forgotten. We have a cultural immersion program, and that is focused more on children in the United States to come to Hawaii and to be able to experience the Hawaiian culture. Because, as I said, the first 10 years we focused on Kenya. The next 10 years it's global. It's making sure that our own kids in Hawaii, our kids in the United States understand culture and the global stage and how it looks like. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice. For the kids in Kenya, what do you think is their biggest takeaway, or some of their biggest takeaways, if they leave the program or while they're continuing through the program?
Okay. You know, you cannot be what you cannot see. And one of the things that we have really focused on is bringing people from different parts of the world, bringing people from Hawaii to meet these kids and interact with them. We have a program called Camp Ohana Photo Safaris, where we take people to Kenya and they go out there and they take pictures of the lions and the zebras and the big five, and then they go spend time with the kids. And through this program, we've been able to give these kids, hope. A perfect example, I had some friends from Hawaiian Airlines visit Kenya, and the kids were so fascinated by the fact that there were pilots, there were flight attendants, and most of these kids, that gives them hope that, I'm sitting here with somebody who flies an A330 every day, and I can ask them about it. I can ask them about how they became a pilot. I can ask them about how they became a flight attendant. So the biggest takeaway for these children is just that interaction with people, because I can tell you about this all day, but when you meet that real person and you're in a village in essentially the middle of nowhere, and here comes a female a pilot, and you're a girl, you're going to be like, wow, I can actually be a pilot. So the biggest takeaway for me is that the kids get to experience this firsthand. And
without getting too dim, I guess, give me the contrast. Give me the flip side to if these kids aren't able to join Camp Ohana, what does that look like for them?
Yeah.
And what, basically showing, what it is and now what they're being able to do.
Okay. If I cannot expand your horizons, then your scope is very limited. So if you're in a village that doesn't have access to internet, doesn't have access to electricity, doesn't have access to anything, you end up not knowing what's outside the village. You end up not realizing your potential. Perfect example, the ukuleles from Kanileʻa. When we started this program, the kids didn't even know what an ukulele is. But now they play it, and honestly, they play better than I do. and so yes, I think that's
I guess
really
just for some overall clarity, if I don't know if you do, how many people in Kenya live without internet or electricity?
I don't know the exact number, but I would say it's large enough that I wouldn't say the majority of Kenyans have access to electricity and internet. I would say a smaller percentage have access to that. And access also means affordability.
Yeah.
Because the internet can be there, but if you can't afford it, that's an access issue as well.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And the way the world is moving, if you can't access the internet, you can't learn and you cannot grow.
Yeah. And we're so happy to support. We're so happy to support. And speaking of internet and access, the Camp Ohana Ukulele Orchestra has 4 singles. Take us back to the beginning of the ukulele program. What sparked the idea for the ukulele program? Because yes, we've been working on it for about 7 years now, and at this moment, there are 4 singles on iTunes and Spotify and available for worldwide streaming. But take us back to the beginning. What inspired the ukulele program, and how has it gone?
Well, you're taking that's a little bit nostalgic for me because I think it was about 2019, and I was at a barbecue with some friends, and I was talking about my friends from Hawaiian Airlines that had just visited Kenya, and they left behind an ukulele, and it was actually a toy ukulele, and so they left this ukulele in the village, and that sparked an idea in my head saying, we should get an ukulele program going. So I'm sitting at a barbecue with some friends and I'm talking about this, and Joe Souza's name pops up in this conversation, and one of the gentlemen that was there was actually a cousin of yours and said, "Hey, you should go meet my uncle Joe, and he runs a Kanileʻa ukulele, and he might be interested in your story." And that's how this started. And I came out here and I met the Kanileʻa family, and it was really a great a visit, and we started getting ukuleles into the hands of these kids, and that has been how this whole started. And I when we first started, I didn't think that we would get to the point whereby we have a children's ukulele orchestra, and I didn't think we'd get to a point where we create history, because we are an organization of many FASTs: the FAST Children's Library in Kenya, the FAST Children's Photography Program in Kenya, but the FAST Children's Ukulele Orchestra in Africa. I never thought that we would get to this point, and but with the guidance and the help from your team, we've been able to really get these kids to a point where they're producing music.
Yeah.
And one of my volunteer friends, Lucas, and I wrote a song, "Fly Away," and the kids produced it, and it just got released yesterday on iTunes. And it's such a blessing to see something that I co-wrote being sung by these kids, and they do a much better job than I would even attempting to try and sing this. And it's all done with the ukuleles, So this is transformative. It's just from a barbecue in 2019 to making history. So we are just honored and blessed to be on this journey with you and your team, and to all the ukuleles that you've donated and all the support that comes with it.
How many children are in the orchestra?
The orchestra has 25 children.
25. And this is something that they chose to be a part of. They wanted to be part of the ukulele program?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes. And our program is open. We even have children with special needs who are part of our orchestra.
Oh, awesome.
So we've opened it up, and as long as you have the passion and the interest and you want to play and can come to the campus, because this program is run at the campus, and they practice every Saturday.
All right.
And our instructors there have had to learn how to play an ukulele, and that has been an interesting journey for them as well.
So the volunteers are gaining life skills in order to help the students or help the children. They are helping themselves as well. And with the learning side, there are ukulele underground videos as well, right?
Yes.
For the newcomers, or for learning new techniques and learning new strategies to playing the ukulele. I know that Lucas has kind of taken it on his own, and now they're learning things outside, but that foundational those foundational ukulele underground videos are still there as new children join or new skills need to be learned. And you said you're going to expand it at the end of this year?
Yes. So the videos we have are very helpful, and the kids use them a lot. We're looking at actually connecting internet through satellite at the campus to then allow the children to have continuous access to streaming videos. But yes, at the end of every year, we increase the number of students in the program. Because the program starts at the beginning of the year and it runs until the end of the year, and then after our recording in November, we'll bring in more kids into the program. Now, many people ask, so what happens with these kids once they get into the program?
That was my next question.
Yeah. Well, most of them are really young, so we stay with them. They stay in the program until they get out at high school level. And when they get to high school level, at that point, they will have identified, what they want to do. Do they want to pursue a career in music, or do they want to pursue a career in aviation, or whatever career they want to pursue? We help support them into doing that. It's safe to say we're going to produce quite a lot of musicians from this program. That's for sure.
I've been seeing the videos over time. From one of the first videos you sent me, where the kids were, honestly, they were getting through it and they were learning and they were so excited to learn, until 6 months ago you sent me a music video that's on YouTube of these kids singing and playing, and it's just so beautiful to see like the growth from 7 years ago when that first video came around to, you know, now streaming music videos on YouTube. And we'll be sure to have all the links in the description for people to go and check out and listen to and support. What's next for Camp Ohana as a whole?
Well, what's next is there's always, I always say it's good to look at the short term and the long term. The short term is we're looking at recording. They've recorded 4 songs. We're looking at recording another 4 in August, and so we're always trying to raise money for that, because getting these children into a professional studio to record and, you know, getting the music out professionally done is a financial undertaking. And so the next steps are, we want to get them recording 4 more songs. So we've got 4, so, you know, we need to do 4 more in August, and then 4 more in November.
Okay.
And that will make an album. Now, I'm not a music expert, but I think 12 singles make an album. And the next steps are really getting more people to come to Kenya to visit with these kids, to play ukulele with them, you know, through our photo safari program. Okay. Because we invite people to come and see what we're doing, come and see how we are impacting these lives of these children. Because, you know, a lot of people think that just dropping a bag of rice or paying for kids' education helps them. Our mode is very different, where we open up the world to them through our programs, and that way they get to meet you, they get to meet, you know, people they never met, and that inspires them and opens up their world to possibilities without limits. And that's really what we're about. So yes, we need donations to record in August and November. And we need people to go out on Spotify, iTunes, download our music, listen to the Camp Ohana Children's Orchestra, and be a part of history. This is history. Yeah. We are making history, and we are not stopping. And the next goal is to get these kids on tour.
Oh wow!
That's the next thing, is we want to be able to get them touring the world.
Wow. Maybe
come in Hawaii and play music for people out here, and that's part of it. But we need an album first, and to be able to do that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Can people get most of this information on your website?
Absolutely. campohana.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah. So, you know, thanks for joining us today. Thank you for listening and hearing more about Camp Ohana. Let us know if you have any questions. Visit the website, please, campohana.org. Visit Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube to listen to the music and see what these children are doing. It really is inspiring. And take care. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to Camp Ohana's channel. And we'll see you again soon. Aloha.
Aloha.